July 14th, 2026. The warmest welcome. Summer was thinning out at the edges. Tanya and Nicole were learning the rhythm of their new space. 3 weeks into the move, Tanya's new apartment still smelled faintly of cardboard and lemon cleaner, but the place was finally starting to feel lived in. It wasn't perfect yet, but it was theirs, and that was enough to make Tanya walk around with a little private smile. She'd been fussing with the living room all morning, nudging picture frames a half an inch to the left, lighting candles she'd been saving for the right moment, and rearranging the snack table 3 separate times. Today was the housewarming, her warmest welcome, she kept calling it, and she wanted it to feel like stepping into a hug. She invited a few friends over, including Rebecca, which was going to be a surprise for everyone, considering she'd barely spoken to half the group. Nicole padded out from the hallway, hair up in a messy knot, holding a stack of mismatched coasters. "You're nesting," she said, amused, watching Tanya adjust a vase for the 4th time. Rebecca lingered in the doorway, her soft green slip dress catching the warm apartment light. Tanya lit up immediately. "Hey, stranger," Nicole said, pulling her into a hug that Rebecca returned without hesitation. "Hey," Rebecca murmured, voice low. "Place looks beautiful already." "Rebecca, you made it," Tanya said, crossing the room in 3 quick steps and pulling her into a hug. Rebecca hugged back gently. "Wouldn't miss it," she said, voice low but warm. She handed over the rosemary plant she'd been cradling. "For your kitchen window. And the wine is, well, the label was cute." Nicole laughed from behind Tanya. "That's honestly the best way to pick wine." "You're adorable. Come in," Tanya said, shutting the door behind her. Rebecca stepped fully inside, scanning the apartment with a soft smile. "You two really made this place yours." "So," Tanya said, hands on her hips, "I'm making you a drink." Rebecca laughed, dropping onto the couch. "I figured you'd say that." "I'm thinking a marg," Tanya said, already heading toward the kitchen. "Classic, on the rocks, salted rim. You want it Tanya strong?" Rebecca smirked. "Tanya strong? Obviously." Nicole popped her head out from behind the fridge. "She's starting with a margarita? Damn, you're spoiling her." "She deserves it," Tanya said, grabbing the shaker. "She's my first guest." Rebecca stretched out, crossing her legs. "Feels weird being early." "You haven't been around for months. I'm making up for lost time," Tanya called back. Tanya walked over with the glass like she was presenting a trophy. Rebecca took a slow sip, then let out a low hum. "Oh, damn! That's dangerous!" Nicole shouted from the kitchen. "She makes them like she's trying to erase your problems." Rebecca settled deeper into the cushions. One arm draped over the back of the couch. "I'm not complaining." "Tell us what's been going on. You've been gone since February," Tanya said, swirling her own drink. Rebecca let out a sharp breath, almost a laugh. "Jesus, Tanya, you really want to do this now?" "Yeah," Tanya said. "Don't act like I'm attacking you." Rebecca dragged her fingers through her hair. "I've been in therapy, 2 a week. It's been kicking my ass. That's part of why I've been MIA. Tanya's expression softened. "Well, you could have told us. Cara made it seem like you distanced yourself from everyone after what happened last time." "I didn't want to," Rebecca said bluntly. "I didn't want anyone asking me how I was doing every 5 minutes. I didn't want to be the center of attention." Nicole murmured, "Fair." Rebecca continued, voice low but sharp. "And the other part? Cara defending Marnie like she's some misunderstood princess. Supporting her relationship with Don like it's some epic love story instead of a dumpster fire. I can't fucking drop it. I can't pretend it's normal." Tanya sat up straighter. "Rebecca..." "No! Listen," Rebecca said, leaning forward. "I didn't go to the Derby Gala in May because I knew Don and Marnie were going to be there. I didn't want to deal with their bullshit. I didn't want to watch her cling to him like he's the best she can do. It makes me insane." Tanya held up a hand. "Okay, stop. Stop. You can't keep doing this." Rebecca blinked. "Doing what?" "Taking sides," Tanya said. "Trying to control the situation and trying to control her. You can't. Whether Marnie's with Don or not, you need to drop it. You need to let her make her own choices, even if they're stupid." Rebecca scoffed. "I'm not taking sides." "Yes, you are," Tanya said, firm. "And you're blowing up your own life over it." Rebecca opened her mouth, ready to argue, but Nicole cut in from the kitchen. "She's right," Nicole said. "You skipped a whole gala because 2 people you don't like were going to be in the same room. Babe, that's fucking dramatic. And honestly, I'm starting to believe Marnie's no longer the problem. Don is." Rebecca whipped her head toward her. Nicole! No, Nicole said, stepping closer. This has gone on for way too long and it's getting exhausting. It's no wonder Cara doesn't want you around. You're giving Don and Marnie too much power. You're letting them dictate what you do and who you see. That's not them being toxic. That's you letting them be. Rebecca stared at her drink, jaw tight. Okay, that was a little harsh, but I just don't want to watch her make shitty choices. Then don't watch, Nicole said. But don't disappear. We actually missed you. Tanya nudged her shoulder. We did. Rebecca's voice dropped. I missed you guys too. Then stop letting Marnie and Don run your calendar, Tanya said. You're better than that. Rebecca sighed, long and heavy. I'll try. How's therapy going? What are you actually learning in there? Nicole asked. Rebecca took a long sip, then set the glass down with a soft clink. It's fucking hard. Like, harder than I thought it'd be. I went in thinking I'd just vent for an hour and leave feeling lighter. But my therapist, she doesn't let me bullshit. She calls me out every time I try to dodge something. Tanya nodded. Sounds like a good one. She is, Rebecca said, rubbing her forehead. She's making me look at all the shit I don't want to look at. Like why I get so wrapped up in other people's choices. Why I take everything so personally. Why I can't just let things go without turning them into a fucking crusade. Nicole raised an eyebrow. So, the Marnie and Don thing. Rebecca's jaw tightened. Yeah, maybe it's the wake-up call I needed. I know it's not my business. I know it's not my job to save her from making shitty choices. But every time I think about them together, I get pissed all over again. Tanya leaned forward. What does your therapist say about that? She says I'm projecting, Rebecca said bluntly. That I'm making their relationship about me. That I'm using it as some kind of distraction so I don't have to deal with my own crap. And I fucking hate that she's right. Nicole snorted. Therapists love being right. It's their whole thing. Rebecca purses her lips. She also said I isolate when I feel powerless. That's why I've been gone. I didn't want to show up to anything and pretend I was fine. The distance and quiet has been really nice. I didn't want to deal with any of it. Tanya softened. You still could have come around. We don't need you to be perfect. Rebecca shook her head. I know. I just didn't want to be the one making everything heavy. Nicole crossed her arms. You're just dramatic. It's okay. We all are. Rebecca sighed, leaning back into the couch. Therapy's teaching me I can't control people. I can't fix them. I can only control how much I let it ruin my day. And apparently I've been letting it ruin a lot. She exhaled for a moment, long and shaky. Okay, listen. Her voice dropped, softer than before. Everything I just said, the therapy, the shit with Marnie and Don, can you two keep that between us? Tanya's brows lifted, gentle. Of course. Nicole didn't even hesitate. Yeah, obviously. Tanya leaned in, touching Rebecca's arm. We're not going to tell anyone. You're safe here. Rebecca finally relaxed, sinking deeper into the couch, the tension in her shoulders easing. Thank you. Tanya hopped off the couch when she heard a quick knock on the door. 3 taps. She swung the door open and was presented by Liz, who stood there in jean shorts, a loose white tee, with a bottle of Prosecco in her hand. Liz! Get in here! Tanya breaks into a grin. Liz stepped inside. Hi, babes, she said, leaning in so Tanya could hug her tight. Nicole popped out from the kitchen. Hey, come in. We're still setting up. Hello, she started, stepping inside, and then froze mid-stride. Oh, shit, she said under her breath. Rebecca looked up from the couch. Hey, Liz. Liz let out a breathy laugh. Did not expect to see you here first. Rebecca took a slow sip of her margarita, then looked over at Liz with a crooked smile. You know, it's kind of nice seeing you walk through a door and not immediately feel like I should bolt. Liz laughed under her breath. Yeah, I'm not that scary. I missed this, Rebecca admitted. Missed you. Missed all of it. And I don't want to come back with weird energy or old shit. I just want a clean start. Fresh everything. Liz smiled. Then that's what we're doing. Rebecca's smile deepened, softer now. Thanks for not making it weird. Liz shrugged. It's only weird if you make it weird. Cara and Gionni were next to arrive. Nicole swung the door open and greeted them with a wide smile. Hey, you two. Hello, housewarming, Cara sang, stepping inside. Gionni lifted the 6-pack. I brought beer. I hope that's okay. Cara took 2 steps in, saw Rebecca, and stopped dead. Oh, she said, blinking. Wow. Hi. Rebecca waved. Hey, Cara. Cara recovered quickly, walking over with a small smile. Hey, didn't know you were coming. Well, I was invited. Figured I'd show up early. Cara nodded, a little surprised. Good. I'm glad you're here. Gionni grinned. Look at you, margarita in hand. You're thriving. Tanya clapped her hands once. Okay, everyone, sit, drink, talk. I'm making another round of margs. Gionni perked up. Make mine a double. Nicole pointed at him. You're not getting a double. You'll start telling stories nobody asked for. Cara laughed. He already does that sober. Rebecca smirked. Some things never change. Cara glanced at Tanya, a flicker of something crossing her face. She touched Gianni's arm lightly, then nodded toward the kitchen. Tanya, she said quietly, can I talk to you for a sec? Tanya shot a quick look at Rebecca, then followed Cara toward the hallway. Cara lowered her voice immediately. Okay, listen. I'm fine. I'm being cool. But if you ever want help with the guest list again, just tell me. Tanya frowned. Cara? No, I'm serious, Cara whispered. I would have been happy to look it over beforehand, just so I could, I don't know, mentally prep or avoid, whatever. Tanya sighed. I didn't think it would be a big deal. Cara shrugged. It's not, but you know how things have been. I just would have liked a heads up. Tanya softened. I get that. I'm sorry. Cara nodded, brushing it off. It's okay. She seems good. Better. They both glanced back toward the living room. Rebecca was laughing at something Gionni said, head thrown back, completely at ease. Nicole was shaking a cocktail shaker like she was trying to summon a demon. Cara exhaled. Yeah, she's good. Cara and Tanya drifted back toward the living room, and Cara slid right into the open space on the couch beside Liz. No tension, no bracing. Rebecca looked up at her, smiling warm and easy. Hey, stranger! Cara grinned. Stranger? Please. I've seen your Instagram stories. You're alive. Rebecca laughed. Apparently. I've been hibernating. Cara leaned forward. What have you been up to lately? Rebecca rolled her eyes. Therapy, working, reading. Cara raised an eyebrow. Therapy? How's that going? Rebecca sighed. Not gonna get into it right now, but it's been alright. I'm learning a lot. Cara looked up at her. Well, I'm happy you're here. Nicole walked by with a shaker. She's been smiling since she walked in. I'm suspicious. I'm allowed to be happy, Rebecca shrugged. Cara nudged her shoulder. Good. Stay that way. We're catching up tonight whether you like it or not. Tanya perked up when she heard a knock on the door. Tanya opened the door, and Melissa practically burst in. Tote bag on her shoulder, a big bakery box in her hands. Hi, everyone, she said, hugging Tanya. I brought homemade cannolis and a bottle of limoncello. Nicole snatched the bottle. God bless you. This is why we keep you around. Melissa scanned the room as she stepped further inside. She froze for a moment when her eyes landed on Rebecca. Rebecca lifted her glass, calm. Hey, Mel. Melissa blinked hard. Rebecca, you're here. Rebecca laughed softly. Yeah, I figured it was time. Melissa's face broke into the biggest grin. Holy shit! This is the best surprise of my week! She rushed over and hugged Rebecca without hesitation. Rebecca hugged her back just as easily. Rebecca smiled, soft and real. I'm just glad to be here. Melissa exhaled, settling into the cushions. Okay, well, now it feels like a night. Tanya opened the door and Michelle barreled in, foil tray wrapped in her arms. Hello, everyone. I brought baked ziti, she announced. If anyone says they're on a diet, I'm throwing it at them. Nicole yelled from the hallway. Put it down before you drop it, psycho. Michelle funked the tray onto the counter. Be grateful. Michelle's eyebrows shot up when she saw Rebecca in the living room. Oh, look who it is. Hi, everyone. Rebecca looked over, completely normal. Hey, Michelle. How are you? Michelle asked. Rebecca answered just as plainly. I'm good, really. Just showing up again. Michelle nodded once. Good. Michelle sat beside Rebecca, still keeping her attention on her for another beat before finally acknowledging the rest of the room. All right, Michelle said, settling in. Who's eating first? Cara pointed at the tray. You know Gianni's already halfway there. Gionni held up a fork. I'm sampling! Nicole yelled from the hallway. Put the fork down, you animal! Michelle rolled her eyes. Man, I just got here, and there's already tension. Tanya raised her voice just enough to cut through the chatter. All right, hold up a sec. Tanya stepped out from the kitchen doorway, towel still in her hand like she forgot she was holding it. Okay, she said, smiling at all of them. Everyone's here, finally. She gestured around the room. The food spread on the dining room table, the drinks on the counter, the mess already forming in the hallways. So, cheers to that. To all of you showing up. To us being in the same room again. And to me not having to clean this place alone. Tanya lifted her glass. Let's have a good night. Everyone raised whatever they were holding. Glasses clinked. Cara popped the Prosecco and leaned her hip against the counter, already in bartender mode. Alright, who's drinking what? I'm not making 6 different cocktails, so pick something that won't annoy me. Gionni lifted his hand from the armchair. Something strong. Cara pointed at him without looking. You get whatever's left in the shaker. Melissa laughed, twisting open a bottle of red. He deserves that. Nicole was halfway up to a step stool, holding a frame against the wall. Someone tell me if this looks straight. My eyes are doing that thing again. Michelle didn't even glance up. It's crooked. Michelle groaned. You didn't look. I don't need to, Michelle said, settling deeper beside Rebecca. It's crooked. Liz wandered over with her glass. Moved the left side up a little. Nicole adjusted it. Better? Cara called out from the kitchen. It's fine. Leave it. We're not in a museum. Tanya stepped around a half-open box near the hallway, holding a plant. Where does this even go? I swear this place looked bigger before I moved in. Gionni pointed toward the window. There. Plants like light. Tanya squinted at him. Since when do you know anything about plants? I googled it once, he said, shrugging. Cara slid a glass toward Melissa. Taste it. Melissa took a sip, blinked. Oh, damn. That's good. Rebecca watched all of it from the couch, listening to Liz talk about her summer. Liz gestured with her glass. I swear, if it rains one more weekend, I'm suing the sky. Rebecca smiled. It's been non-stop. I haven't had one dry Saturday. Michelle nudged her lightly. Same. My hair's been frizzy since June. Cara called out from the kitchen. Michelle, come grab a drink before I drink it myself. Michelle stood, brushing her hands on her jeans. I'm coming. Relax. She passed Tanya, who was now staring at a stack of frames. We can hang those later, Michelle said. Or never. Honestly, never is fine. Tanya laughed. You're not helping. I brought ziti, Michelle said. That's enough. Cara collapsed onto the couch with a dramatic sigh, dropping right into the open spot next to Rebecca. She still had the cocktail shaker in one hand, hair a little messy from running around the kitchen. Man, she said, leaning back. I have nothing to gossip about. The summer's been kind of boring lately. Rebecca took a small sip of her wine, glancing over at her. That's not a bad thing. Michelle snorted. Summer just started. You can't complain yet. Cara waved a hand. I can complain whenever I want. Melissa tucked her legs under her, settling deeper into the cushions. I mean, it has been slow. I feel like June didn't even happen. Liz pursed her lips, staring at the ceiling like she was trying to summon drama from thin air. There has to be something. Someone's gotta have a story. Cara pointed at her. You're the one who usually stirs shit up. Come on. Liz tapped her glass against her knee. I'm thinking. Michelle rolled her eyes. She's buffering. Nicole called from the dining room, still fiddling with some centerpiece she decided needed fixing. You guys are useless. It's July. Something messy had to happen. Gianni's voice echoed from the hallway where he was helping Tanya hang a frame. I grilled like every weekend. That's my story. Tanya laughed. That's not a story. That's a personality trait. Cara threw her hands up. See? Nothing. We're all boring. Michelle nudged Rebecca lightly. You got anything? Rebecca shook her head. Not really. Just been living. Liz snapped her fingers suddenly. Okay, wait. Actually, no. Never mind. That's mean. Cara perked up. Mean is fine. Melissa leaned in. Mean is preferred. Liz sighed dramatically. Okay, fine. But someone else has to go after me or I'm gonna feel like a bitch. Liz was still staring at the ceiling like she was trying to download chaos from the cloud. Cara nudged her knee. Come on, Liz. You're killing me. Liz exhaled sharply, sat forward, and said, Alright, fine. I have something. And it's safe gossip because they're not here. Melissa perked up. Finally. Michelle raised an eyebrow. Let's hear it. Liz looked around the couch, then dropped it bluntly. Honestly, do you guys think Don and Marnie have slept together yet? Cara's jaw dropped. Liz! Melissa slapped her thigh. Oh my god. Michelle didn't even flinch. I mean, probably. Rebecca didn't tense, didn't shift, didn't get weird. She just took another sip of her wine, eyes steady on Liz like she was listening to any other topic. Nicole called from the dining room. They definitely did. I don't need proof. Michelle snorted. How would there be proof? A hidden camera somewhere? Liz looked around, satisfied she'd stirred the pot. So, verdict? Rebecca finally spoke, calm and unbothered. If they did, good for them. Cara blinked. Wow, okay. Liz kept her glass balanced on her knee, still riding the Don topic wave now that she had everyone's attention. Anyway, she said, the moving up ceremony went really smoothly. Like, shockingly smoothly. I'm surprised he did it without any of Margaret's help. Don stepped up. He was on it the whole time. Cara nodded. He looked good up there. Confident. Melissa continued. And afterward, he was talking to a district rep. Cara cut in immediately, pointing at her like she'd caught her red-handed. Oh, so you've been holding out on us, Cara said. Now you're giving us the tea we deserve. Melissa threw her hands up. I didn't even finish. Well, you could have led with that when it got brought up. That's premium grade school gossip, Cara said, leaning back dramatically. Michelle nodded. Seriously, that's the good stuff. Melissa held up a finger. Okay, but I'm not going into details yet. I'm not trying to start rumors. Cara groaned. Ugh, you're killing me. Michelle crossed her arms. If Don's talking to district people, it's never nothing. Cara pointed at her. Exactly. From the hallway, Gionni called out while holding a frame for Tanya. He's been working hard. Makes sense he's getting noticed. Tanya adjusted the frame. Higher. No. Lower. Okay. Stop. Perfect. Cara leaned forward, eyes bright. Okay, but Melissa, you have to tell us eventually. Melissa sighed. Later. I promise. Liz clinked her glass against Melissa's. Fine, but you're not getting out of it. Michelle nudged Rebecca lightly. This is what happens when you put 5 school people on one couch. Rebecca smiled. I figured. Liz approached Tanya in the kitchen. You know who would have made this night unpredictable? Christina. Tanya doesn't look up. She presses a candle down that refuses to sit straight. I didn't invite her on purpose. Liz raises her eyebrows. Why not? Tanya finally turns, giving Liz a look that's half expression. Because last time was a disaster. She knocked over a whole bottle of tequila. I just wanted a chill night. I don't want to deal with her or the entourage. Liz nods slowly like she's hearing a tragic tale. I mean, she does bring energy. Tanya sighs loudly. She brings chaos and noise. A level of emotional volume I cannot host on a weeknight. I'm surprised Cara hasn't cut her leash yet. Liz smiles, softening the jab. Well, the party's lovely. Very calm. Very adult. Tanya narrows her eyes. Is that a compliment? Liz shrugged. It's an observation. Tanya grabbed a stack of plates and headed toward the counter, where Michelle's foil-wrapped ziti tray sat like a brick of responsibility. She peeled the foil back, and the smell hit the room immediately. All right, Tanya said. Come get food before Michelle eats all the crispy edges. Michelle stood first, already halfway to the counter. I made it. I get first dibs. Cara called from the couch. You didn't make it. You assembled it. Michelle shot her a look over her shoulder. It's homemade. Melissa laughed. It's store-bought noodles. Homemade, Michelle insisted, grabbing the serving spoon like she was defending her honor. Tanya handed her a plate. Here, take your creation. Michelle scooped a mountain of ziti onto her plate, then stepped aside with a satisfied grunt. Rebecca rose next, setting her wine glass down gently on the coffee table. Tanya passed her plate with a small smile. Thanks. Liz wandered in from the kitchen doorway. Is there garlic bread, or am I hallucinating? Tanya pointed out a foil packet. Over there. Don't burn yourself. Liz grabbed a plate and nudged Melissa. Go, before Michelle eats the corners. Melissa gasped. She better not. Cara finally got up, still holding her drink. I'm not eating until someone tells me what Melissa heard. Melissa groaned. Cara! Later, Cara said, pointing at her. But not too later. Gionni and Nicole returned from the hallway, satisfied with the newly hung frame. He grabbed a plate, she grabbed a fork. All right, Tanya said, waving her fork like a conductor. Everyone sit. Eat. I'm not serving you like you're royalty. They migrated into the living room, plates in hand, wine refilled, drinks topped off. The couch filled up quickly. The room softened into that late evening hum. The night wound down slowly. No games, no plans, just food and gossip. Melissa set her empty plate on the coffee table and stretched her legs out with a groan. Okay, I'm full. Like, aggressively full. Liz wiped her mouth with a napkin. Same. I need to move before I fuse with this couch. Rebecca finished the last sip of her wine, setting the glass down gently. I'll help clean. Tanya was already at the sink, running water and pushing clutter aside with her forearm. "Just put them on the counter," Tanya said. "I'll rinse." "No," Melissa insisted, taking the sponge from her. "You sit. You've been hosting all night." Liz guided her toward a bar stool. "Sit. Pretend you're a guest." Melissa rinsed plates, Liz dried them, Rebecca stacked them neatly in the dish rack. Rebecca carried a stack of cups to the sink. "Where do these go?" Tanya pointed to a cabinet. "Top shelf." Rebecca opened it, saw the chaos inside, and froze. "This is ambitious." Liz laughed. "Just shove them in. She won't notice." Tanya narrowed her eyes. "I heard that." Melissa finished rinsing the last plate. "Okay, kitchen's under control." By the time they finished cleaning, the apartment looked, not perfect, but better. Lived in, but not chaotic. Tanya stood in the doorway, hands on her hips, surveying the room. "Okay," she said. "This is actually nice." Michelle smirked. "And no tequila casualties." Tanya exhaled, finally relaxed. Thank God. Guests at Tanya's apartment finally started filtering out in a slow, warm wave. Hugs at the door, shoes slipping on, last sips of wine. Tanya stood near the entryway, dish towel still in her hand like she wasn't sure how to stop hosting. The apartment buzzed with end-of-night energy. Michelle slung her bag over her shoulder. "All right, I'm out. I gotta be up early tomorrow. Going to see my nephew in Jersey." Tanya hugged her. "Thanks for the ziti. It was a nice treat." Michelle smirked. "You're welcome." Liz looped her purse over her shoulder. "Good night, guys." Cara yelled from the couch. "Bring better gossip next time." Liz pointed at her. "I will." Rebecca slipped on her shoes, calm and steady. "Night, Tanya and Nicole." Tanya gave her a small, tired smile. "Night. Thanks for coming." Nicole waved and gave her a small hug. Rebecca nodded once, then followed the others out into the hallway. The door shut behind them, and the apartment felt quieter. Only Melissa, Cara, and Gionni stayed behind for a moment. Cara curled sideways on the couch next to Melissa. "You owe me details." "What did Don say to the district rep?" Melissa sighed, setting her water bottle down. "Okay, but you cannot tell anyone. I mean it, especially the next part, because Don plans to lead with it in the next meeting." Cara's eyes widened. "Oh my God, this is real tea." All four of them swore to secrecy. Nicole said, "I don't even work there, but swear." Melissa exhaled. "Okay, so, after the ceremony, Don was talking to the district rep about next year. The rep asked him if he was planning on continuing, and of course he said he would. Then, they talked about how the rep noticed the school was struggling with funds, staffing, and overall, just leadership. Nothing dramatic. The rep told Don that the district has big plans for South Street and that they are willing to help, but not until the next school year. Cara waved a hand. Yeah, get to the good stuff." Melissa looked around the room for a moment. "I had a conversation with Don earlier this week, about the end of the year, and my interim position." Cara's mouth dropped open. Melissa nodded once. "After some discussion and reviewing the evaluation, he offered me the position." Nicole gasped. Tanya's eyebrows shot up. Gionni grinned. "And," Melissa continued, voice soft but steady, "I accepted it." Cara laughed herself off the couch and grabbed Melissa's shoulders. "Oh my God, that's so exciting!" Melissa laughed, overwhelmed. "Yes, but don't tell anyone yet. Don wants to lead with it at the next meeting. I haven't told anyone." Gionni stood up and pulled her into a hug. "That's huge! You deserve it!" Nicole clapped her hands together. "Melissa, that's amazing!" Tanya stepped forward, her expression melting into pride. "I'm so happy for you." Cara was practically vibrating. "This is the best news I've heard all summer. Oh my God, you're gonna kill it." Melissa covered her face with her hands, laughing. "I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm everything." Tanya squeezed her arm. "You're going to be incredible." Nicole nodded. "You've been doing the job anyway. Now you're getting paid for it." Cara pointed at Melissa again. "I'm so proud of you. And I'm not telling a soul, but I'm screaming internally." Melissa smiled, cheeks flushed. "Thank you. All of you." Cara and Gionni headed for the door, turning back with a grin. "All right, we're heading home before I start crying. I'm too tired for emotions." Cara slipped out into the hallway first, Gionni right behind her, hand on her back as they walked out together. "Good night, guys," Cara called. "Night," Melissa shouted back. The door closed behind them, leaving Melissa standing with her tote, still glowing from the news. She exhaled, soft and relieved. "Okay, I'm gonna head out too." Tanya nodded. "Get home safe." Nicole waved. "Bye, Mel." Tanya closed the door behind Melissa, the latch clicking softly in the suddenly quiet apartment. Nicole set the candle down on the counter and looked around at the tidied space, the faint smell of ziti still lingering.